Hey, yo, Yam, we're all ready to go.
Sweet, let's go do it, dude.
But before we go, let's. What do you think about doing video a little bit different today?
What do you mean? What do you want to do?
Like I wanna ride today. You know, like I got all my gear on. I was thinking.
Derek, you wear that gear every day. What do you mean you got all your gear on?
I just want to ride motorcycle, learn more today.
Go ride? Well, all right, screw it. Let's go.
All right.
All right, Derek, we've brought you back out to the same parking lot we were last time, but this time you are out here on the Royal Enfield. This, guys, is our brand new beginner bike giveaway motorcycle. We're gonna see if Derek is gonna drop it in the parking lot. Are you gonna drop it in the parking lot, dude?
Is it gonna be on my tab if I do? No, I do not plan on dropping it. Yeah, it definitely looks like it's gonna be a little bit different from the CRF that I rode last time.
Definitely a little bit different than the CRF. It's gonna be a bit heavier. It's gonna feel a little bit more premium too, a bit more like a normal motorcycle, but all the controls are exactly the same, man. And this bike right here, guys, if you're out there, you're in Derek's shoes and you're looking for a great bike to start learning on, this thing is something you should definitely be checking out. And if you want to get entered to win it, click the links down in the description below. Go to shop.yamanoob.co where you can get any of the gear that Derek is going to be wearing today. Every dollar you spend is an entry to win, and you can get yourself this nice shiny little bike that's already been learner approved, right? I mean, I already know you're going to like it. I know you've been looking at it in the shop.
Yeah.
And you've been looking at it next to our super secret other giveaway bike, and you're like, I could totally see this being a bike that I could pick up, right?
Yeah, I mean, filming you guys riding this thing a couple different times it seems like you guys have been very surprised with how much you like it. So it's pretty exciting to be able to learn on something like this.
All right, time to get you out in the lot. We're just going to run you through the basics again, get you comfortable on a new motorcycle and see how you do.
Okay, sounds good. So getting back on the bike, it being my second time and all, it took me a minute to find my rhythm with the bike. However, I will admit that being on the Royal Enfield had a much nicer feel to it than the CRF. I felt like I was riding an actual motorcycle. The play between the clutch and the throttle was easier to get used to than the CRF for sure. I was a little concerned about the overall weight of the bike when I was starting out, but it was much easier to get used to than I was expecting. After some time had passed and I had forced Spike to sit out in the central Texas sun for about an hour and a half, operating the bike started to become second nature. Sure, I stalled the bike once here and then I downshifted without using the clutch, but those errors were less and less prevalent the more I rode.
All right, Derek, you've been out here for like probably a good hour and a half practicing on this bike. And you've been doing a lot of stuff. You've gone up to second gear. I've been working you through a couple of little drills here in the parking lot. How are you feeling on the Royal Enfield here?
Yeah, like you were saying, it does feel, what was the word you said, more premium?
Yeah.
Yeah. You told me about the CRF. This is gonna feel a little bit less of a mountain bike feel.
Yeah.
This is gonna feel more like what a motorcycle feels like. And I can definitely feel the weight, but it's nothing overwhelming for sure.
Yeah.
It's really comfortable and yeah, it's been pretty easy to get comfortable with and get used to.
Now, would you be surprised if I told you that this is basically at the rear wheel double the power of the CRF?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. I mean, I could definitely feel it on the throttle that it wanted to get going a little bit more.
But it's not one of those things where it's like super scary. Oh, I've doubled the horsepower on this motorcycle.
Yeah.
It's going to be suddenly a rocket ship, right? It's still something that you can get used to, play with. I mean, that's one thing that I would use to describe this motorcycle is playful.
Yeah.
You know, it's really gentle. It's really easy to work with. Does it feel like that to you?
Yeah, I mean, it definitely feels very, very welcoming to learn on. I don't really have anything else to compare it to, you know, but really, I mean, just really easy to get comfortable with.
Cool.
So, yeah.
And how are you feeling out here riding around just generally? Are you feeling more confident than you were last time towards the end? Are you feeling like there's still some stuff where you really got to go back in and practice it more? Or are you feeling like, I don't know, you're ready to hit the interstate?
Definitely not ready to hit the interstate yet. But, you know, it's all just anytime you learn something, it's just repetition and doing it over and over and over again. I'm getting more comfortable now. I can start, you know, straight from stop and get my feet up right away. Also, turning and maneuvering on this bike is pretty easy as well. I was a little bit surprised in that. I know that you told me it was going to be a little bit heavier than last week, but it it's not that bad.
It's almost twice as heavy.
Really?
Honestly.
Yeah, I wouldn't have expected that.
470 pounds.
It doesn't feel like that. I guess I'd have to ride the other one, but it feels pretty easy.
The next thing we're gonna do is we have this really quiet street here. This street connects a bunch of warehouses and stuff. It's very infrequently traveled, but I would like to see if you're comfortable getting out on this road just so you can feel what it's like riding in something other than the parking lot.
Yeah.
Because that's one thing, you guys, in the MSF that they don't teach you, is they don't teach you how to ride on a street. They teach you how to ride in a parking lot. And it's a very different world out there. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna gear up, hop on the 919, which is just off frame here.
Okay.
And you're gonna ride this. I'm gonna follow behind you. We've got our cardos hooked up.
Okay.
And we're just gonna go from parking lot to parking lot and just go up and down this road here as you get more and more comfortable.
Yeah, sounds good. Sounds good, man. I think I'm ready.
Sweet, let's do it.
Awesome. So after a couple drills of switching gears with Spike, I was ready to be on an actual road and ride for longer than just 50 yards without having to brake right away. But honestly, having to maneuver the bike that much in a small space definitely made me more confident out on the road at higher speeds, because I knew that I was going to be able to brake quicker. I knew I was going to be comfortable with downshifting or switching into second. Had I not had that experience doing it in the parking lot, I don't think I would have been as comfortable. So after I got the bike into second gear and then into third and was cruising and was able to actually lean my body into a turn, I was absolutely stoked. That's the moment that I started to realize and understand why people really love motorcycles. And I wasn't really even doing anything at all. I was going like 32 miles an hour, but I definitely felt like Rossi or Marquez or whoever these guys are that Yam and Spider are always talking about. Overall, I have 100% caught the bug and will be taking the MSF course as soon as possible. Now, what kind of bike should I get? I'm thinking either a Rebel 250 or a Fireblade. I have heard that both of those are kind of like identical bikes, but either way, I'm definitely excited.
All right, folks, we're back here in the shop with Derek. He's successfully completed day 2 of his piloting a motorcycle experience for the first time, and you still haven't dropped the bike, Derek, which is pretty impressive.
No, yeah, definitely. Basically just taking my time and learning from you guys and being as careful as I can be, for sure.
Yeah. So you keep talking a lot about how you don't want your confidence to creep up too fast and you to make mistakes. That's something you're thinking about a lot, right?
Yeah, definitely. There was a few times today where I felt like I was just switching gears and whatnot without like thinking about it. Really just came second nature. Yeah. And I recognized that and I was like, okay, I could probably make a mistake here if I get too comfortable.
You're just like, yeah,
because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to like just get on it. But yeah, definitely just like taking my time, you know.
So tell me a little bit about kind of going from the CRF to the Royal Enfield. Did you feel like this was like a good bike to kind of be on today as a, you know, very green rider?
Yeah, for sure. It definitely felt like I guess a little bit heavier, but
yeah, it's a lot heavier. I think this bike's about 150-ish pounds more than the other bike.
But I felt more relaxed on it.
Yeah.
Just, you know, with how you sit on it, with how the seat is, everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a little bit more relaxed and I don't know if easier, but it just felt a little bit more welcoming to learn to do like actual street riding. It felt more like a motorcycle, I guess, than the CRF did.
Yeah, the CRF kind of has that mountain bike feel. It's real tiny.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what Spike was telling me.
This is what you're kind of looking for your first bike, though, right? Something kind of more classic looking like this, a little more chilled out, right?
Yeah, something like this. Something where, like, after 6 months to a year, I can, go on a date with my lady, throw her on the back,
and then get the Hornet, which you really want.
It just looks cool, man. I just want to look cool. That's like the big thing.
That's a big part of it, is looking cool.
Yeah, for sure.
What other trepidations did you feel? Like anything else while you were out riding the bike that you were kind of like worried about? Or I remember you told me earlier in the front that you were like starting to take some corners and kind of feel good. So anything else kind of shock you or make you feel kind of weird?
Just getting used to the clutch and the throttle and just doing it without having to think about it too much, but then also, making sure I'm doing it right. Yeah. Because there was a couple times where I was getting comfortable going up into second and then coming back down into first, but then like went down into first once and I didn't pull the clutch in at all. And I like jerked in. I was like, so just repetition, just like doing it over and over and over again.
And keep in mind, guys, we are going to get Derek to go do his actual MSF at some point, but you're going to be the star of the class, I think, whenever you go and do it, because you've already got so much experience. What do you think's the next steps for you?
MSF course.
Yeah.
I'm doing it, and yeah, getting my license.
And you just want to keep riding out, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Because when I actually went into a turn, more than just, you know, the turn in the parking lot, actually going into a turn into like second or third gear and having to like lean my body into it.
Yep.
I was just, dude, I could do this all day. Like right away, I told Spite, I was like, dude, sign me up. Because I've been hanging around you guys for like 6 months now.
I know. It was only a matter of time.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, one day you're going to roll up here to the shop with your own bike. It's going to be a beautiful day. Yeah. Well, folks, we hope you've enjoyed today's episode with Derek. Comment down below with what you want to see him do next. Probably our next step with him is going to be the MSF course. And remember, this was the perfect beginner bike for him today, and you can win it for free. Go to shop.yamu.co, get a piece of merch, some gear, a hat, a t-shirt, helmet, whatever you want, and you'll get entered to win this motorcycle. We'll catch you in the next one. See you later. Keep watching Amy Noob!